Hello, everyone. Welcome to the My Village Well podcast with Michelle Walsh. I am super stoked to be with you today. Hello to our guest, Karen Adamski, someone who I can call a very good friend. You guys, Karen Adamski is a shamanic practitioner. She's a creative dynamo, and she's just an overall one of the most generous human beings that really I've ever met in my life. It's kind of like God broke the mold the day that she made Karen Adamski.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well,
It's
thank you,
true.
Michelle. Thank you for having me here today. This is an honor and a privilege, and I'm just super happy to be here. And I feel the same way about you.
Thank you, friend. Karen and I were kind of talking before we got on here today about how we can kind of hold our stuff, our shit together during the holidays, and how helpful it may be to have some tips to kind of walk us through, from now all the way to New Year's and beyond. Because I've been noticing and I've been seeing a lot on social that women are the ones who typically, not always, hold it together. And by that, I mean gifts and stockings and wrapping and showing up and making the plans and make sure the teachers have the gifts and make sure all the things typically fall on women. So, Karen is here to help us, to ignite us with some inspiration on how we can hold our shit together through the holidays. Karen?
Mm. I know I'm trying so hard to keep my shit together. I think we all are.
Right? For
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I love this topic because it is, oops, excuse my beeps. I'm not sure, my dings. I'm not sure how to get rid of them. We're just going to have dings. They're like little angel bells that are ringing in the background. Okay. So every time that beep goes off, just whatever we were saying, whatever, boom, right there, confirmation, whatever we were thinking, that's going to be there for us. Okay. Yeah. So this is a busy, busy time of year. And,
Yeah.
these are great tips. I was just trying to come up with a list of the top 10 list or tips that come out of my brain just in the moment in terms of how to keep yourself together and keep yourself balanced and keep yourself, from burning out during the holidays. So, and this could really be applied to any time that's busy,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's just you have a busy month full of birthdays or maybe you have a wedding coming up. So any time that it's extra busy, it's just really good to take care of yourself, kind of check yourself before you wreck yourself. And because, like you said, as women, we do a lot of multitasking, and it just takes, we get tired. And if we drop one of those plates or one of those balls as we are um, juggling lots of
Mm-hmm.
different things. It just takes one thing and then it's like, uh-oh, now, things are starting to crumble. So we really want to keep ourselves from getting to that point. So the first thing that
Absolutely.
comes to mind, yeah. Do you want me to just go ahead and jump right into the list?
Hit it, girl.
Okay. Feel like you're going to have lots of good information with this too, Michelle, because you're a super busy mom and you are doing a lot of different things too. So, um, if I say something, just join in. Okay. This will be collaborative.
Okay, great.
All right. So the first thing that came to mind was keeping a tight schedule, or even pre-scheduling. So blocking out time in your calendar during a busy time, so that you have time before and after, so
Oh,
that you're resting every day, you're doing something fun every day. Uh, just try to schedule that in to your time and then stick to it. Um, because we want to make sure that you have enough time for yourself, just in general, because things come up. Just it's a good um, tool, keeping a calendar that way in terms of not overcommitting.
I
So
love
that's a
that.
good
I
tool.
love the buffering on either side. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and then sticking to it for me, that can be a really hard one. So I
Hmm.
really have to. Sometimes I put stickers on my calendar. It was like,
Hmm.
okay, don't forget. I'll like get on my paper calendar, just to really remind myself. that I promised myself I was not going to schedule this time for anything other than taking care of what I need to take care of for me.
Perfect.
Yeah. Practicing gratitude. That's
Mm.
another one. And that's just a good practice always, but it's really in a way to foster a sense of peace and calmness throughout your holiday season. So we know that traffic gets kind of crazy and busy, and people, are a little bit frazzled, and
Yeah.
it's just a lot of tension, when you're out and about. So, or whatever is your trigger, right? That just happens to be one of my triggers that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think of the things that might make you feel a little bit frazzled during the holidays or busy time, take a step back and practice gratitude. Think about what are you grateful for, and it could be in this moment. I'm so grateful to be sitting in my car that I own, and I have shelter and a
Yeah.
warm place, and I
Yeah.
get to go shopping for my family,
Yeah.
you know,
I have
so
to
just
say,
however that works.
you are a master at this one. I mean, I have watched
Mm.
you with this one in motion one time when we were having a sound bath, a live event here at the house. And there was a children's birthday party extravaganza happening like right over the fence. And I immediately felt my shoulders go up and I was starting to clench and I'm all, can you believe this of all times? And you're like, oh, there's so much joy coming from next door. Okay, Michelle, take notes. And so gratitude helps bring us back to the moment. So thank
It
you,
does.
friend.
It does. And I to make you feel better, I do remember that moment, and I was practicing hard to find the gratitude in that moment because those were some kind of crazy voices, and the timing was like, oh, okay, seriously. But it's like, what a joy. What a
Yeah.
joy for those kids. What a joy that we get to hear happy kid voices. Yeah, but sometimes you have to dig deep. And in those
Yeah.
moments, just dig deep because the gratitude is there.
Oh,
Okay. Number three, creative engagement.
oh,
So for me, that would be art or doodling or crafts, anything creative because it stimulates the same part of our brain as when we're meditating. I actually had meditation on the list and I took it off because I didn't want to make anybody mad. So I thought, you know what? If you're not really into meditation and if you're really busy and some ladies like, oh, you should meditate,
yeah.
it's like that's not super helpful in the moment. So I kind of took meditation off the list. But you know what?
Okay.
Art or doodling or word puzzles, whatever your jam is, that's meditation too. So
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Absolutely. And
That.
finding that outlet, right? I know for me when I wake up in the morning, sometimes it's a line and that's how I do my writing. And it's like yesterday, it was like what really matters most. And I just kept
Mm.
repeating that line, but it's like, oh, well, God gave me that line for a reason. So girl, let it rip, and letting that out. And then, okay, now I can start my day. And literally 1 minute, 5 minutes. That's all we need.
Right.
It does not need to be 60 minutes. So
No, no, not at all. It's whatever you can fit in. Even, yes, like you said, 1 minute, 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll just dip my finger in some paint and
mm,
swirl it around on the canvas. I have a canvas that's ongoing for those times when I just have, 30 seconds or 2 minutes or 10 minutes. It's just layer after layer after layer. Then it doesn't matter what I paint. It's the process of it. It's engaging my brain, it's calming my body and my mind. And that's a good thing for me. It's good medicine, anything creative.
It's so cool that you have an ongoing canvas that you're not expecting to create anything specific out of it, but it's out, it's ready for you at any time. I love
Mhm.
this idea. I wrote it down.
Oh, great. Great. Yes, I have this is the second one I've done, but I have one that has over 300 layers on it. I was keeping track at one point and it gets really thick and a lot of texture. And at some one point, I think I sprinkled rosemary or something that I'd gathered and gave it a bunch of bumps. And, it's just a cool thing.
So
Good
cool.
meditative tool. Yeah. Yeah. And in terms of creativity, I have at the end of our discussion, I have a offering. a creative offering that's really good for busy times, really good for all ages. So could be something for you to use this holiday season.
Okay.
All right. And we've got next, keep your expectations realistic.
Oh my
It sounds so
gosh.
simple, right?
Yeah.
But it's a hard one. Gosh, the angels like that one. That's good. So keeping your expectations realistic to really avoid stress and avoid disappointment. And that's a good rule in general. Thank you. But especially going into family gatherings where a lot of times we do have expectations. If you can just really try to keep your expectations clear, magical things can happen. It's a way of keeping ourselves open, opening our heart a little bit, letting the door open a little more than average, perhaps.
Yes. And I found too having an exit strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if
Mm-hmm.
you get triggered,
Mm-hmm.
I actually had this situation with Tom where we had a little word and I would say the word and he knew I was out the front door, off to go take a
Oh, that's
moment
good.
just to,
Yep.
so he kind of knew what was what, because there are certain people at times that can trigger us. And so when we are
Mm-hmm.
having a hard time finding the gratitude to have kind of that safety latch that, we can pull
Mm-hmm.
it and just
Mm-hmm.
kind of give ourselves space.
Yes, yes. Dave and I do the same thing. Our keywords are tag team. We just say tag team, and that's our key to like whatever is happening. It is boom in the moment, drop it, and I'm out. So
Okay,
we keep
cool.
each other. We haven't done that a lot, but with the kids, we've growing up and stuff, we would have to do that. But that was something I was going to bring up is actually, if you don't have your partner around or somebody there to help you, pre-planning ways to get yourself out of a situation gently. Some of the things that I fall back on are walking the dog. It's
Oh
like, oh,
yeah.
got to take the dog for a walk because, always dogs need to be walked.
Yep.
Um, or call a friend. Just say, oh, I'm expecting a call. Or, another good one is a couple good ones. If you tell people you're having a hot flash, depending on their comfortability level with menopause, they might be like, ooh, they'll just drop you like a hot biscuit. So that could be a good one. Um, and a lot of times too, if you say, oh, it's time, I need to go do my meditation, people are very respectful of that. It's not something that they hear a lot, so it kind of makes them stop like, oh, okay. And then they just leave you alone. And another thing, put on your headphones. If you've got big puffy headphones, even if they're not on, if they're on your head, it's a signal to people to kind of, back off a little bit, maybe give you some time. So those are some of the tricks that I use. Now my family knows all about them, but they're very helpful. Okay, next up, keep tabs on your nervous system.
Mm,
So what that means is just being aware of your triggers, be aware of, how your body runs. For me, I know that I'll get a headache. Um, when I start to get a headache, that is like a red flag. It's like, okay,
mm,
tension coming. If you don't get on top of this now,
mhm.
then you're going to end up with a migraine and then you're going to end up getting sick and that kind of a thing. So if you know what your triggers are, if you know what your signs are in terms of yourself getting out of balance, you're getting
Yep.
run down,
Yep.
those types of things, stop and listen and really monitor that. Check
Totally.
yourself before you wreck
Totally.
yourself.
That is such a good reminder. Like for me, it's
Yeah.
irritability and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes my eye twitches.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
I have broken out in hives recently. And so like literally when I know that's kind of like past the point, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Michelle, it's time to regroup. So yes.
Absolutely. And there's ways that you can soothe yourself too. Just you soothe your vagus nerve, which really helps us keep our shit together. um, Things that you can do. It sounds a little crazy, but you can really kind of rub your ears, pull on your earlobes, play around with them a little bit, take the cartilage of your ears and give it a good tug and massage. That helps soothe and stimulate our vagus nerve, which then helps us stay in balance
Okay.
in terms of our nervous system. Yawning or making that Yeah, 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 kind of,
Oh,
up and down, moving your jaw like you're going to yawn or say
yeah.
like big R sounds.
Yes.
That's good for us. Breathing 6 minutes in or six 6 minutes, six. Yeah, then you're gonna pass out and then everything's just gonna be okay. Okay, no, 6 minutes in, 6 seconds in, beep, 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 backing up, breathing. 6 seconds in, 8 seconds out.
Oh, I
Do
like
that
that.
over and over. 6 seconds in and 8 seconds out at your own pace. That will help keep you balanced. And then another thing that getting your body a lot of extra oxygen. One thing that I do when I know my ship is starting to sink a little bit,
Hmm.
I will do that deep belly breathing where you really fill your belly with air and let your belly, poof out.
Hmm.
And then after it's full, I then fill my lungs with air. So belly first, and then your lungs, and then
Okay.
exhale. And that just is like a way to really get some good extra oxygen into your system.
Okay.
Got a couple more tasks,
Perfect.
but keep going. You
Yeah.
good?
Yeah, we've
Anything to
got
add
time.
here?
No, this is good.
Okay, good, 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 good. Delegate.
Hell
That is,
yeah. Heck
yeah, right?
yeah.
I know.
Delegate.
Let's say that again. Delegate.
Delegate. You know what, Karen? For the first time in ever in my whole life, and I'm 51, I'm going to cook a turkey for my people on Christmas Eve. And I'm doing it because number one, I want to. And number two, because I'm going to ask my girls, I'm going to delegate that they help me. And they're excited. So, yes, yes, tell us more about
Yes.
delegating, please.
Delegate anything and everything. To reduce your workload and your
Mm-hmm.
stress level. I mean, anything that you can delegate, do it. And that doesn't have to be just during busy times. It's a good thing to do. So yeah, delegate in the kitchen, delegate in terms of what dishes are being made.
Yeah,
This year, I'm not doing Christmas Eve. I'm not doing the cooking on Christmas Eve. The kids are. They asked if they could step in and do that.
I
It's like,
love
oh,
that. Oh,
yeah.
please
So
do. Yes.
I'm not going to say no to that.
Don't say
Um,
no.
and then it could be delegating in terms of shopping. You get
Yep.
this, you get that. You pick up these people, you pick up those people.
Yeah.
You do the cleaning, errands, whatever it is. You go help grandma and grandpa with their wrapping. And then you go, whatever. Anything
Yeah.
that comes to mind, delegate it.
Love that. And remember to say
Yeah.
yes and accept with open palms, palms up when someone is offering. Like, let me help. May I help? Yes,
Yes.
thank you for
Yes.
asking.
Yes, and thank you. Yes, exactly. And it's a hard thing to do, asking for help. And because delegating is kind of asking for help in a way. But it's orchestrating,
Yeah.
um, is what it is. But it's not taking it all on yourself. And that's the most important thing. And I think
Yes.
it's really good for the younger ones too. To see how delegation works because it's a good thing in life and it's a good thing in the workplace, depending on, what your job is. It's to be in a community, delegation both ways. That's a good thing. That's what
Absolutely.
community is. So we
Yep.
support each other.
Yes.
So that's support in action. All right, number 8, walk in beauty. So
Oh, what does that mean,
always.
Karen?
I know. I always walk in beauty. It's something I love to say. So Michelle knows that phrase. But to walk in beauty it's a Native American phrase, which is to walk in beauty, to see beauty with every step that you take on your path, on your journey. When things are wonderful, and even when things are just really horribly sad and hard, there is
Mm,
beauty in everything. So that could be, you're in an ugly parking lot and you see that little crack with the flower growing out of it. That is seeing a sign of beauty during a
mhm,
difficult walk.
mhm,
Um, Today, I'm hearing those dings, dings from time to time. That's a
mhm,
walking in beauty, right? That's like, okay, I don't know what that is, but it's something. It could
mhm.
be the color of somebody's house or car as it goes by in a cityscape, or it could be uh, walking through nature's temple in the
Mhm.
forest and listening and feeling the dew, the fog. It could be anything. It's up to you. It's your walk. So it's up to you to find the beauty. And so when you walk in beauty, especially during stressful times, it helps keep us in a positive state, in a state of gratitude, which we've talked about.
Yes.
Yes. It's always walk in beauty. And use your time wisely, meaning, so we have things that we have to do, right? We have our responsibilities. We're going to have times when we're stuck in traffic. That's a really good example. So if you're stuck in traffic, or you know that you're going to be on the freeway and it's during a busy time and there's just going to be a lot of other people there, or maybe it's a really rainy day. And it's like not the best driving weather, so you're gonna have to go real slow. Whatever it is, just make it part of your adventure. Make it part of your walking in beauty. Make yourself a nice cup of coffee or hot cocoa for the ride and use a podcast while you're in traffic.
Mm.
Sometimes I don't want to get out of the car when I'm finished. Because it's like, or, finished with my drive, but I'm not finished with my podcast. And it's like, oh, that was really enjoyable. So you can turn those situations around sometimes when you have a task that is like, I really don't want to do that. You can turn it into something fun.
Absolutely. Impromptu dance party also works.
I love that. You know, that's a good thing. Yeah, movement and dance is super important. Yeah, just always dance like nobody's watching.
Or that everybody is. Who cares?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Exactly. And surround yourself with positive people,
Oh,
people who uplift you and energize you, and avoid those who drain your energy. You don't, avoid time with people who trigger you. Sometimes you can't get away from that during the holidays, but you can limit your time. You can use all of those tools that we talked about. Step away, you know. But so make a point of surrounding yourself with positive people whenever you
absolutely.
have the
Oh,
ability to do that.
totally. And two, to claim your magnificence when other folks, this is an example that happened when I was on the trail yesterday. This gentleman said, "Oh, you're going to brave the weather." And it was like a little drizzly, but not bad. And I said, "Well, I've got my trusty umbrella and, it's quite warm. And so, and I've got my companion, my dog. So, yeah, we're going to brave the trail." And he just kind of did not know what to say to me. And I just said, "Have a great day." And then I just took off.
Hmm. Right, right. So you can just kind of leave a little love bomb and just tootle on your way, and
Yeah,
it doesn't have to stick. And if it does,
exactly.
shake it off.
Shake it off,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And in the moment, so say just a couple of things I wanted to share. Like we talked about maybe taking a walk with the dog or
Mm-hmm.
phoning a friend that
Mm-hmm.
saying I need to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've found it's helpful sometimes during family gatherings to have some pre-planned things, like having a puzzle on the table for people to step away and have some creative time, or having some rocks out, that are you can paint on them, or coloring book pages, that type of like adult coloring book pages, that kind of thing too. Ooh, or air dry clay. That's really fun. So it's like adult Play-Doh, and then the next day it's hardened. So that's really fun.
These are
Another,
awesome ideas. I wrote them all down.
oh, you did.
because
Good.
because you're serving the entire group that way. Maybe you're the one that needs to step away from the puzzle, or maybe it's like Auntie Olga who needs to step away. It's like offering. It's an offering. I love that.
Absolutely. Yes, an offering. Decorating cookies, with icing, that's a fun, creative thing to do. Just something to bring people together, but also offer that creativity to help keep people balanced. It's a
Yes.
good thing. I also at the dinner table, just to keep things positive, I
Mm-hmm.
have like a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the like you get a red flag if you bring up politics. at my table. It might be something different at your table, but I will wave the red flag. People know about it. And it's like not being mean. It's kind of in a humorous way. So we're not making fun of anybody. It's like, whoop, nope, 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 for another time. And then we steer it back to a positive way. So if you have things that you know might come up, um, you can mention people like, okay, we're trying something new. We've got a red card at the table today. It's worked in the past. So that's something you may want to try. It probably depends on how your family rolls.
It probably depends on how your family rolls, but you know what, Karen? If it's your home and it's your
Hmm.
sanctuary and you want to have a red flag and fly your red
Hmm.
flag, I mean, it's all about
Yeah.
having those clear boundaries of kind of doing all the things to keep us aligned, like you were just talking about. So, yeah,
Hmm.
thank you. Oh my gosh, I took so many notes, girl.
Oh, well, if any single one of those might help you in some way, then I am super, super happy.
Awesome blossom. And then you are so generous. You are offering my Village Will listeners a free gift to help us kind of um be in that flow, right? And so do you want to tell us a little bit about the free gift?
Yes, yes. I have an online classroom. You can go to shamamama.teachable.com, and that's where you can find my courses. And the course that I'd like to offer to everybody for free for a limited time up until January 15th, so from today until then, is called Heart and Mind Balance, a painting practice. And it's just a really easy, I take you through all the steps of kind of being mindful of your heart and your head and keeping them balanced and being grateful, some of the things we talked about. And it's a nice practice that everybody can do at any age. So it's something you could even offer to people, maybe open it up when your family's around or pass it along to them during the holidays. But it's something that you can do as a group or on your own.
Wonderful.
Um, yeah, and the coupon code for that is My Village Well. So you can just go to the classroom and then use My Village Well as your coupon code, and you'll get right in.
We're going to slide right in with Karen Adamski, shamanic practitioner, creative dynamo, an overall generous human with so much wisdom, you guys. And each time she lays it down, it really is just like an invitation or an offering. It's not like, I know this, and so you need to listen to me. It's like, you're so relatable. I know I'm talking about you. You're right here. You're so incredibly relatable. And so I give thanks and praise for you, my friend, for being in my
Oh,
life. Um,
I'll take it and give it right back to you.
oh, girl, energy
Boom.
exchange. Ba boom, a ba boom. We are doing the Care Bear love beams for those of you that can't see us because this is audio, not video. We also dare you to go out there today and maybe on your days you're walking around, maybe you make eye contact with someone and maybe you hold that gaze for just a second and maybe you smile at that person who you're making eye contact with. And it is almost impossible for that person not to smile back at you. And maybe, just maybe, you say, hello, as you pass them and just see what happens. And so that's what we're here to do, be love sprinklers in the world. Karen Adamski, you are that.
Oh, likewise.
Okay, you guys. That ends our time with the My Village Well podcast for today. Karen, thank you for stopping by. We are wishing you the most abundant holidays. We love you, and you know where to find us. We'll include all the information in the show notes. So take such good care.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Happy holidays.